Hello, everyone. Welcome to the How to Move Your Clients into Dubsado webinar. I am one of your co-hosts today. If you don't know me, my name is Cameron. I'm the Director of Education here at Dubsado, and I have with me today Melissa, who is the Data Migrations Lead here, and she's going to be talking with us today about moving clients into Dubsado. Obviously, if you're newer to Dubsado, this is a very big thing to get a hold of and to know. So that way, if you have existing clients and you want to get them into Dubsado and get rolling, you'll be able to do that. Before we get started today, though, I just want to go over a couple quick housekeeping things before we let Melissa get rolling with everything. And I just wanted to talk about the format for the webinar today. How it's going to go is we will actually let Melissa go through her whole presentation. She has slides, she has things that she's going to be showing us. And then at the very end, we'll open it up for a Q&A section. And I will be looking at questions and kind of fielding questions from people during the webinar. And then at the end, we'll open it up and Melissa and I will be happy to answer those questions. So if you do have questions that you want Melissa or I to answer, what you want to do is write it in the Q&A section, which is over on the right-hand side next to the chat section. So if you have just things that you want to comment on and things like that, the chat is the best place for that. But if you have questions that you want us to take, just write those in the Q&A section. And then at the very end, I'll be back and then we will get to those questions and start answering those for you. So with that being said, I want to jump right in and let Melissa go ahead and show us how to move your clients into Dubsado. So Melissa, I'll let you share your screen and I'll be quiet.
Thanks, Cam. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen. All right, hey everyone, I'm Melissa and I'm going to show you how to move your clients into Dubsado. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to add them to the Q&A section of the chat and we'll get back to them. So before we begin, you have two options when moving your clients over. You can do a bulk import or a manual import, and I'll be going over both of those today. So option one is going to be your bulk import. If you're coming from another CRM or you've been using spreadsheets to keep up with clients, bulk importing is the option for you. If you've been tracking clients another way or you only want to move a few clients into Dubsado to start, manually adding clients is for you. All right, so if you are looking to do a bulk import, you're going to need two things. So you're going to need a paid Dubsado plan. If you don't have one yet, right now during our summer sale is the perfect time to lock in the low rate forever. And then you're also going to need a CSV file of your contacts. All right, so before uploading your CSV file, you're going to want to make sure it's formatted in a specific way. And then let me show you what that looks like. So here's an example CSV. You're going to see everything is separated out. So we have first name, last name, email, phone, and then address. So you're going to want to separate the address from address, city, state, zip, and country. So make sure each of these are in their own column. Another thing to note is that when you're importing, doing a bulk import, you can only import a maximum of 1,000 clients at a time. So if you have more than that, you're going to split up your CSV into multiple files and repeat the import process for all of those files that you have. Also, if you already have some clients in Dubsado and you want to avoid duplicating, go ahead and go into your CSV and remove them before you import it. All right, if you want to manually add clients, you can do this while creating a project. I'll go ahead and show you that in just a few minutes. And then this is also a good way to add any clients that might have been missing from your bulk import. All right, so let's go ahead and head into our Dubsado account and I will show you how to migrate everything in here. So let's go ahead. First thing is we're going to do that bulk import. So we're going to head over to our utilities right over here. And you're going to click on address book. And once you're in the address book, we're going to go ahead and click on import. And you're going to browse and find that CSV and open it up. So once it's opened up, down here, you're going to see a preview of the clients that you're going to be importing. And what we're going to do is we're going to match up these columns. So this first name right here, we're going to go ahead and click on first name. And you should see it pop up here. Some of them will auto-populate. If you see that, just double check that everything is correct. So this one, last name, and then we have email, phone, company name. I don't have any here. That's fine. Just go ahead and leave it blank. And then address line 1, you're going to go ahead and click on address. And then we're going to fill in the rest of these. So I don't have an address line 2. That's okay. State, zip, and country. So if you have more information that doesn't line up with any of these columns, that's fine. It's going to go ahead and import to the client's notes section. So all of that information will be in there. So once you've done that and you've made sure everything is lined up, you're going to go ahead and click on submit to add them to your address book. Be careful that you only click on submit once. We don't want these importing multiple times. If there is another option, if you want to import all of these clients as leads and create a project for each one, you'll want to go ahead and click on this little box here and then click on submit. So I'm going to go ahead and just import these to my address book. Let's see. And then also another thing to note is this process works best when using the Chrome browser on a desktop or a laptop computer. So we went and we clicked on submit. Now I'm going to go over and just double check that everything's been added in. So I'm going to click my address book and you can see that those have been imported. So once you've imported your address book, we're going to go ahead and start creating all of our projects. So you want to click on this projects tab here, and then you're going to go over and click on new project. So here we're creating a new project. We're going to copy all of this information over from our old system, old CRM, whatever we're coming from, and we're going to go ahead and paste everything into here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy over my project title. I'm going to select my client, and then we're going to give this a status. So we're going to choose job no status. You can go ahead and select whatever works for you there. And then if you have a date, you can go ahead and add in a date. So I'll do that here. And my start date is going to be August 12th. So once you've filled in all of that, you can go ahead and create project. So if you want to manually add in the clients, you can also do that within this step. So instead of selecting your client here, you're going to come over to create new client. You will click on that. And here is where you can enter your first name, last name, email address, or anything else that you want to add. Once you've added that in, then you can proceed and create your project. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to create my project here. So once we click on it, it's going to create the project and it's going to take us right into that. So the next step would be to upload your contracts, questionnaires, invoices, everything that you want to move over and add into this project. We're going to do that here. So first we like to add in the contract. So we're going to go ahead and click on contract and we're going to scroll down until you find upload PDF file. So you're going to go ahead and click on that, and then you could select your contract, open it up. And once it loads, you can click on add. So now your contract is in here. We are going to move over to our forms. So if you happen to have more than one contract, you'll want to set the main one in here and then add any additional ones in your forms tab. So let's go ahead and add in, we have a questionnaire. So let's go ahead and find that PDF. Oh, just passed it. Okay, so we'll click on that, select your questionnaire, and add it in like that. Okay, so perfect. Now, once you've uploaded all of your forms, you can move on to the invoice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and recreate the invoice in Dubsado. So you'll click on the invoice tab, which is up here, and then you're going to go over and click on add. Once you click on add, it'll pop up here. So you're going to you're copying over all of your existing information and putting it into Dubsado. So you'll go ahead and change the date to whatever that might be in your old CRM or your old system, whatever you're using. And then you're going to click on new line item. Here, you can put in the item name. So you could simply copy and paste what you already have, or you could just type in services, whatever works for you. And then you're going to want to make sure your quantity is always 1, and then you'll add in your total price. So once you've filled in all that information, you can go ahead and add item. So now you can see it's in here, you have a total, and if you need to apply any payments, this is where you're going to do that. So you're going to go up to apply, click on apply, click on payment. So here you could change the payment date, and then however they paid, you can go ahead and select that, and then you can type in the amount. And then once you apply that, your payment will show down here, and then you have your remainder here. So that is the whole process. If you have multiple projects that you're moving over, you're going to want to just repeat that as many times as needed. So one last thing I'm going to mention is it's totally normal to be worried about how your clients are going to react when changing your system. But we found that clients are oftentimes happier after the switch, especially if you keep them updated on what's happening. So below you'll see 2 emails. We suggest sending the first email letting them know that you're changing the system, and it's going to allow you to better serve them. You can let them know what to expect, and then also let them know that another email is coming. So once you've sent over that first email and you're all ready, everything's in Dubsado, go ahead and send that second email from inside your Dubsado account, and that will include the link to their new contract, their client portal, invoice for future payments, and all that stuff. So that's pretty much everything. It's super simple. It's just a lot of doing it over and over, and you'll be all moved over. I'm going to hand things back to Cam, and if there's any questions, we can go ahead and answer those now.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Melissa. It was really quick. Just to show you how to move clients over into Dubsado. It really doesn't take a whole lot to do it, just as Melissa showed. Especially if you're doing the bulk import, that makes it a lot faster because you can get multiple people in there at one time. And I actually didn't know, I've been here for almost 7 years, and I didn't know that there was a max of 1,000 clients per CSV. I literally did not know that. So I learned something new.
Good to know.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of these questions here. Angela asks, is there a way to capture the client title? I sent a client a contract, and she said her lawyer advised her to sign the name and the title to prevent forming an agreement as the person. Angela, to answer that question, I think that you could potentially make it as a custom mapped field and have that somewhere on the contract. As far as our actual signature elements go, there wouldn't be a way for them to sign something besides their name and, print your name and sign it. But if you wanted to have something in the contract that says, client name also referred to as the client's title, whatever that may be, I think that would probably be the best option there, is to use a custom mapped field for that and bring that into Dubsado as well. And you can also include custom map fields on your CSV, right, Melissa?
Yes, you can. You would just match them up the same as you do first name, last name. Any custom map fields will show after address, so towards the very end, and you can go ahead and match them up and they'll import.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then in your contract, you can just use that mapped field. You can use the smart field for that, and it'll show up in the contract for you. Let's see here. Veronica asks, when you import the contacts, would you add them as leads? And do they receive any kind of notification when you bring them into Dubsado?
Let's see. Sorry, let me go back to that. I would only import as leads if the majority of your clients are like have a project that you're going to be working within. Otherwise, you definitely don't want to do that. It's just going to clutter your page and you're going to end up with way too many projects. So only do that if each client that you're importing does have a project.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So when you're doing the bulk update, if you click that import as leads, all of those people get projects. And so you kind of have to know who you're importing and if they need that or not. So that's kind of a big thing. But as far as notifications, they won't receive any emails or anything like that. Let's see here. Terry asks, is there a good way to move clients over who are mid-project and get them looped into a workflow? What I would say there, Terry, and then Melissa, if you want to add to this as well, you can. If you're importing them mid-project, I think you can pretty much do exactly what Melissa did there. Import the contract that you already have on file with them. If they've already paid, get that invoice into Dubsado and then just continue working with them. In regards to the workflow piece of it, what I would recommend doing, and this kind of takes a little bit of organizing with your workflows, what I would do is create your workflows in different phases. So you're not having one massive big workflow that's your entire process, because what happens with Dubsado is if you were to start a workflow on somebody and it's your whole process, it's going to start at the top. So if they've already signed a contract and you've already put it into their project, they've already paid and done all of that, it's going to go through your whole process again. So with a workflow, if you have different phases of your workflow, so let's say they've already gone through the booking piece of it, you can start the service phase of your workflow once they're booked. And so from a workflow perspective, having your business process in different phases is going to be really the best way to accomplish what it is that you're wanting to do there. But Melissa, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, I think that would be the best way to go about it. I don't have anything to add there. That's perfect.
Cool. Okay, cool. Next question. Angela asks, how do you activate their portals and send that to them? So what you would want to do there is in their client profile, you'll want to actually go down to the client profile side and you'll see where the portal option is underneath their name. And what you can do there is you can click the drop down and activate the client portal, and then you can click send and send them their portal information. I know Melissa kind of briefly talked about it with the email that goes out to them, but you could include a link to the portal and a link to the password as well in the canned email that goes out too, if you just wanted to send your own custom email there. But I think that that's going to be the best way to do that. Let's see here. As a graphic designer, do I now put all of the work in the client portal? So it specifically with the client portal, what I would say there, and I'm kind of taking these client portal questions, but with the client portal, you could essentially deliver your all your deliverables and things like that through the client portal if you wanted to. What I can actually do here, let me pull up. I actually was not prepared for this, but I can actually pull up a Dubsado account here really quick and share my screen so that you all can see what I'm talking about there. Let me pull this up. Go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so when you are in Dubsado, I'm going to jump into, and I'll go ahead and make my screen a little bigger here. So when you are inside of a project like where Melissa was at, down here in the bottom left, this is what I was referring to, Angela, with the client portal. You can actually click this drop down and activate the client portal there, and then you can set a password for them. So let's just say I do S Howard for Shelly Howard, and so we'll set that as the password. Once you've done that, you can click the drop down and then click send. And that's going to pop up an email composer that links to the client portal. So that's how you can send them their portal information. Now, to tie this back into the other question that we had about just running everything through the client portal, something that you're able to do with Dubsado, which is kind of an added benefit if you are planning on using the client portal, is underneath the forms drop down here. And this is exactly where Melissa was at, where she added in the questionnaire and all of that. If you click the drop down and you scroll down past where Melissa was at, she was at the upload a new PDF as form. If you scroll down a little bit further, there's this option called create one-time link. And this is clutch for the client portal. What you're able to do here is you can put any external URL into the client portal for the client. So this means that you can put in YouTube videos, you can put in Vimeo videos if you want to. You could put in Dropbox links. So specifically for that question, if you're a graphic designer and you have all of the files on Dropbox or you have them on Google Drive or wherever your file sharing is at, you can just send a link to all of their deliverables and it will be uploaded into the client portal for you. So I think that as a graphic designer, if you want to put all of your work in there, I would use the create one-time link option and just make it a Dropbox link or whatever the case may be there. So hopefully that gives you a few extra nuggets there on how you can continue to use the client portal, but just merge it with that create a one-time link option there. Awesome, awesome. Let's look here. Yes, Angela. So an external link is allowed there. So that's really what it's for. It's for anything kind of outside of Dubsado. Like I said, YouTube videos, Vimeo videos. I've seen people put, if they have slideshows from, their gallery service that they have, if they're a photographer, anything along those lines, you can just throw it in the client portal using that one-time link option. And then it's housed in there and they can always have access to it. If you're a coach, you could use it for a link to Kajabi or Teachable or whatever platform you use for your courses. Anything like that, you can use it for. Awesome. All right. And another thing I want to mention too, in the chat, we have some other team members who are plugging in some really helpful articles for us. There's a new Getting Started series that we just released last week. And I think that that pairs really well with Melissa's presentation, where if you're new to Dubsado, you want to get some clients into Dubsado and start working with them, you could just pair this presentation and the Getting Started series together, and that'll be perfect if you're a beginner. Let's see if there's any other questions. Oh, one other question here. Angela says, is there a limit to the number of links? No, you can put as many one-time links into the portal that you want to. So fill it up with as many external links and they'll all take the client to their specific places that you have for them. Awesome, awesome. Let's see. Yes, all of your clients are existing clients, so making the transfer as easy as possible. Yes, and definitely follow Melissa's advice there. Send them an email, be super transparent with them that you are that you're moving platforms, and so things might look a little bit different. All of that can definitely help out with clients there. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. I don't see any. Melissa, do you have anything else that you want to add?
No, that's it. Did you mention that there is, if you like to read things instead, we have this written out step by step. The link is in the chat, so you can read through that or whatever helps you best. If you have questions, we're always here. So that's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melissa. We really appreciate it. I know that this helps a lot of people who are wanting to move into Dubsado, who maybe just took a chance on the sale and they just got a new account. And so they're wanting to get clients moved into Dubsado. This will be super helpful for them. So we appreciate your time today. And for everybody else, Our sale is in full swing right now. So if you do not have a Dubsado account yet and you haven't signed up, now is the time to get super low rates locked in so you can get your clients moved over here. You can get them in the Dubsado system and you can start working with them immediately in Dubsado. So we have a bunch of awesome webinars coming up the rest of the week. So make sure that you're registered for those. I believe there's a link in the chat as well to register for the other webinars that we have coming up. But again, Melissa, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course. Thank you guys, and hope this was helpful.
Yes, definitely helpful. Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And this was our last webinar for today. So we'll hopefully see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. for our next webinar. So take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.